run, and he has the ball taken absolutely away from him. And big number 77.
Yeah, it was like lightning. And the game was so exciting. And the band started playing. And everybody was swaying. And the coach in the back said everyone attacked, and it turned into a ball game blitz. And the quarterback backed, and then he got sacked, turning into a ball game blitz. Ball game blitz.
There's a pass. It's caught by Dogs over the middle. He's going to go all the way.
A ball game blitz. A ball game blitz. It's a ball game blitz. Blitz, blitz, a ball game blitz. Blitz, blitz, a ball game blitz. Oh, it's a ball game blitz.
All right, I'm here with Joe Gaddis, head football coach for the Golden Tide, and coach, an awfully big game tonight. And what did we know about this bunch from Westwood?
Well, they're very athletic, fast, got good size. Got some dangerous weapons on offense. Got the great return man, number 2, punts and kickoffs. We'll do our best to keep it away from him. We got to tackle. We got to have good leverage and good angles because they've got the speed to run around us or through us if we don't tackle well. We just got to play well. I feel like we play well, we're going to win, but that's a big if. Right. We need to do that, and when you get to this point in the playoffs, teams get hot, win, and hopefully we're going to be hot tonight. In about 3 hours, we'll be one of 8 teams the whole playoff.
All right. This turf is really nice. Our kids, I guess it's probably the first time they've played on a turf like this. Or
they scrimmaged Dresden at UT Martin in the spring, so they were used to it. Not used to it, but at least they had exposure to it. Back in the old days, you'd want to practice on it, but this stuff's like grass as far as cleats are concerned.
Right.
Back in the old days, you played with tennis shoes and so forth, so no big deal.
Well, we've got a pretty quick team. This ought to help us even be quicker, but of course they're going to be quick too.
Yeah, it'll help them too, so it's kind of a wash there.
All right, Coach. Let's keep the Tide rolling.
Thanks.
All right, thanks.
Right now, 1 in 3 drivers is cruising around in a state of skepticism about just how much value their car insurance company is delivering. If you're one of them, State Farm agent Amy Greer in Trenton can help you get to a better state, because she'll talk with you, listen to you, and help put together a policy that has you written all over it, from cost to coverage, all backed by 24/7 customer support. Feeling less skeptical? Then call State Farm agent Amy Greer in Trenton and officially get to a better state with State Farm.
We welcome you to Crump Stadium here on the Ball Game Blitz high school television football show as we come to you from Memphis, Tennessee at historic Crump Stadium in downtown Memphis, just 1 block off of Union Avenue. Many football games through the years have been played here. Recently it's been redone, new turf, and we think we've got a good ball game in line for you tonight as we have the Peabody Golden Tide, the winners of District 14A, taking on the District 16A champs, the Westwood Longhorns. Our captains for the Golden Tide tonight are number 16, Ty Fields, number 8, Malik Dokes, 67, Hayden Whitby, and number 71, Noah Allen. And representing the Westwood Longhorns, number 10, Brandon Harrison, 19, Jerome Gilkey, number 45, Philip Sanders, and number 50, Jeremy Glass. And at this time we'll go down to the field for the coin toss.
Make sure those are down below your wrist if you want to come back out and play. Make sure shirts are in pants, because I'd hate to put a captain out and not get to participate in kickoff. We expect y'all to calm anybody down. Make sure you go back and tell your teammates on scores. We don't mind little low fives, but if y'all chest bump, it's 15 yards every time you do it, okay? So make sure there's no chest bumping. You talk to each other, you talk to your teammates, you talk to your teammates. We don't want a lot of join back and forth, okay? We ask you to do something, we expect you to do it. If you don't, we'll send you out. All right? Westwood, you are home. Trenton Peabody, you are visitors. The coin is a John Kennedy $50, heads and tails. I'm going to flip it, and because you're visitors, what will be your call? If I drop it, I'll flip it again.
Tails.
What's your call? Tails? It is tails, so you won the toss.
Defer.
You want to defer. You're going to get the ball. Which end are you going to defend? All right, you guys turn around this way. You guys turn this way. All right, shake hands. Go get your teammates. Make sure shirts in, pants in.
And so Peabody has won this coin toss here and deferred its choice to the second half. And Westwood Longhorns will be going on offense first to start the game. Joey, we've got what we think will be an exciting football game here tonight.
Well, when you get into the playoff time, you never quite know what you have. Teams that you maybe never seen before. Westwood, we know by the statistics, has some outstanding athletes, and we expect to see a pretty impressive show on the ground for Westwood. Also has some fairly impressive passing stats. But we know that Peabody, if they play defense as they did last week against Humboldt, can really play with anybody. And we know also by our schedule that we have already played some of the best teams in the state.
The winner of tonight's contest will play the winner of Trinity Christian in Jackson and Dresden, as they are matching up tonight in Dresden. If Dresden wins, they will host the quarterfinal round next week. But if TCA wins and Peabody wins, I think Peabody will be hosting that quarterfinal round next week in Trenton. And so that's kind of the combination that we're hoping for. We're ready to play football here at Crump Stadium. Through the years, a number of games have been played here. Peabody won here in 2004, I think, against Memphis Carver. Came back and scouted here a couple of years ago, preparing for Memphis Wooddale. But Joey, this is the first time we've been here to see the new artificial turf that they've got, and it's very impressive.
Well, it's going to be a fast track. We've talked about that, not only for Peabody and Tavari and Barnett, but also for Westwood. And it's one of those state-of-the-art surfaces. It's going to be great to see our kids. They've probably, many of them never played on a surface like this, see how they respond.
Well, it's going to be, as you said, a fast surface, and this ought to be a good game to watch for the fans. I think that Peabody is going to have to score points tonight. And we may have to score them in a bunch, because I believe this Westwood team is going to be able to move it up and down the field. At least that's what we're kind of expecting tonight. Coach Joe Gaddis said before the game that he thinks that the Golden Tide can win. We're going to have to play good football, not beat ourselves, and continue the streak that we've been on now for about 6 or 7 games. And so we look forward to that as the Golden Tide take the field. The Westwood Longhorns are getting ready to come onto the field. They will be donning the scarlet and blue. And we'll tell you right now, Joey and I are going to have a hard time making out some of the numbers, as they have scarlet uniforms and a royal blue number, and they're kind of hard to see, but we'll do our best up here, and we hope our viewers will be patient with us. As I've said previously, they are the winners of the 16A district here in Trenton. In Memphis, and they have a record, Westwood does, of 8 wins and 2 losses. 2 losses are coming to 2 teams in the 4A and 5A division, both who are still in the playoffs. And so we know, much like Peabody, Joey, they have faced good competition, and they've only lost to probably teams that they've been outmanned in as far as that goes. And here comes the Longhorns from Westwood.
Paul, as you said, in football, you don't get better by playing inferior teams. Really, you have to challenge yourself.
Here she comes, right here.
we're going to have to look out as we look over the stat sheet for Nakia Cathy, number 2 for Westwood, a junior who this year is averaging an incredible 48.73 yards per kickoff return. So certainly I would imagine that we're going to continue our rather unique kickoff style, kicking it toward the sideline, trying to keep it away from these incredibly quick backs for Memphis Westwood.
And Joe, if my memory serves me well, that is not really a fluke of a statistics. The young man's had 11 opportunities to return kickoffs, and that's his average, 48, nearly 49 yards per carry.
Longest
so we've got our work cut off.
Yeah, longest kickoff, 88 yards. And we see Coach Joe Gaddis on the sideline, a target for Drew Sanders as he kicks this ball off to start this game.
Sanders is ready to kick off for the Golden Tide. I believe he'll be kicking the ball over to Coach Gaddis on the sideline, and there's the high kick, and it's going to be fair caught right there at the 30-yard line where Westwood will take over 1st and 10. And so I think that's pretty good strategy, Joey.
Well, it's good to see that fair catch there. We'll take it from the 30-yard line every time.
Westwood will go on offense. And Golden Tide is on defense first tonight.
If Westwood stays true to form, they will run about twice as much as they pass. It's going to be largely up to this defense in Peabody. How are they going to come out and play tonight?
Spread formation, 2 men in the backfield with the quarterback. Handing the ball off, and he's going to be hit right there, and he's going to lose maybe 1, possibly 2 on the play. Kind of got his feet hung up.
Well, this surface is different. As you said, this is an away game for both of these teams. Westwood is not used to playing on this surface either. We're going to see some stumbling and tripping and sliding.
2nd and 12 for Westwood. Ball's handed off. And up making the tackle for the Golden Tide is number 27, Ray Buchanan, from his middle linebacker position.
Well, Ray Buchanan's had a big year this year, playing in his 12th game, and he's done a great job from that inside linebacker position. He's going to have a big game here tonight.
3 of the Golden Tide defenders are in the top tackling list in the Jackson Sun today. Ty Fields, Ray Buchanan, and Hayden Whitby were in the top 5 of all the teams reporting statistics like that across West Tennessee. 3rd down and 8 for Westwood, and ball's thrown over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete as the pass was thrown over there, I think, near number 2, and he was not able to come up with the ball, and Westwood will be punting.
Well, a great crowd for Peabody across the way. They're loud, they're fired up into this game. A great way to begin for our Peabody defense to force this 3 and out.
Got a speedster punting for Westwood, and so we'll have to keep an eye on him, as I'm sure he'd be able to take off running. And the kick is away, and I believe it hit the back of one of the players.
It sure looked like it hit our number 27, Ray Buchanan, but they don't call it.
Looked like it may have hit right before him, but we've talked about that before, Joey. We've got to be aware of that football, where it is, and get out of the way.
That was a kind of an odd punt. Punter just missed the ball. A very low and short kick. We have great field position as we start our first drive.
Peabody 1st and 10 inside of Westwood's side of the field. Wide outs all over the field, tight end to the left side of the formation. No tight end in the game. True spread formation. Barnett's at the right side. Barnett giving the ball right up the middle, and there he goes. He's going to go in. The first play for the game. Touchdown for the Golden Tide.
Well, we knew that Tavarian Barnett was one of the quickest players in West Tennessee, and he shows it as he comes down to Memphis and charges in for a touchdown on his first time he touches the ball.
And so Peabody's jumped all on Westwood right here at the beginning of this game. With 10:26 to play, they score their first touchdown, and on for the extra point is Drew Sanders. There's the snap. The hold is down, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. And so Peabody takes a 7-0 lead here at Crump Stadium in this very important second-round matchup with the Westwood Longhorns. Peabody 7, Westwood nothing. We'll be back as you're watching Golden Tide football on TV 22, Trenton's local cable channel.
Hello, this is Ed Norman, broker with LA Realty of Trenton. I want to thank all of you for making LA number one in our community. We aim to take good care of our customers to the best of our ability. We know that's how a successful real estate firm operates in a small town. Please remember us when you need help or just advice about your real estate. Thanks again.
Paul, looks like we're going to see the same kind of kickoff, and really with the type of backs that Westwood has, you have to do this. You have to protect yourself.
Sanders ready to put a foot in it. He kicks it right over there close to Coach Gaddis, only it goes all the way back to about the 22, and he fumbles right there on the spot. A player from Westwood picks it up, but he's going to be tackled by Ty Fields as the Tide is swarming tonight coming down that field, Joey.
Just really impressed, too, by our fans over there. They are fired up, and they are into this game, and the players can feel it.
A strong contingent of fans coming from all the way down from Trenton tonight. So good to see our local folks supporting the Golden Tide, as most people in Trenton have Golden Tide fever here as we're in the second week of the playoffs.
I think we're just going to have to be careful with the big play here with Westwood. They've got some, as we've said, really good receivers and runners, and they are primed for a big play.
Spread formation for Westwood. Ball's thrown back to the quarterback in the shotgun formation. Throws it out here into the flat. Number 10's got the football, and he's finally going to be tackled after he makes a first down of a gain of about 15 on the play. And that's number 10 for Westwood, Brandon Harrison, receiving the throw from the quarterback, Jerome Gilkey.
Well, Harrison has 21 receptions now on the year, over 500 yards receiving. He is their number one receiver with 7 touchdowns on the year.
1st and 10, Westwood. 2 men in the backfield. Ball's handed off, and he's going to be met in the hole by number 16, Ty Fields, but he stumbles forward for a few more yards after the initial contact. Going to be a pickup of about 4.
Just going to have to play disciplined defense. Defensive line already has shown that they can penetrate this offensive line of Westwood, make that quarterback scramble around.
2nd and 6 for Westwood. Toss sweep going to the wide side of the field, and coming up to set the corner for the Golden Tide. That appears to be number 1 for the Golden Tide. Logan Morris comes up and puts his head across the bow and gets him on the ground.
Well, Logan has come in late here in the year, and he's made some really big plays, and none bigger than that one, as we almost lost contain there. But I think we can see already, although Westwood is talented and quick, they are not quicker than Trenton. Trenton has a speedy offense and defense.
3rd and 5 for Westwood. Quarterback has the ball in the shotgun formation, and the ball's going to be tipped into the hands of Tyler Gatlin. He's going in. Touchdown, Golden Tide!
Well, that's the big play that you're looking for on defense. We saw this earlier in the year for Peabody making some big interceptions. It's been a while, but now we see it in the time we need it most.
And so the ball was tipped by the receiver from Westwood right into the hands of Tyler Gatlin, and he was ready and willing to carry it in for 6, and the Peabody goes out to a 13-0 lead. Westwood, I believe, jumps on defense, and so the ball's going to be moved half the distance to the goal, moved up to about the 1.5-yard line, and we'll see if Coach Gaddis wants to go for 2 or just go ahead and kick it again. I believe they're just going to go ahead and kick it.
Well, Paul, with that interception, that's going to make 4 on the year for Gilkey.
Sanders on for the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is going to be good. And so Peabody has gone out to a 14-0 lead here with 8 minutes and 46 seconds to go in the first period. The Golden Tide have come to play tonight here in Trenton at Crump Stadium. We'll be back after this short break as you're watching Golden Tide football on TV 22, Trenton's local cable channel.
At Raspberry Tire, we can help you with brakes, transmission flushes, interstate battery replacement, all types of suspension repairs, and alignments. We carry several major oil brands and tire brands, including Firestone and Bridgestone. Our service center can balance both passenger car tires and semi-truck tires and fill your tires with nitrogen. With 30 years of towing experience, we can haul small, compact cars to semi-trucks, and we are the only wrecker service in Gibson County with heavy-duty towing and recovery services. Come visit us at 2216 Highway 45 Bypass, Trenton.
And so we're back for the kickoff after Peabody goes ahead 14-0. The 5-yard penalty on the extra point will be marked off against Westwood here on the kickoff. And so Drew's going to be 5 yards closer, and hopefully we'll be able to pin Westwood back in a hole.
Well, this time Drew goes on the far side of the field. Looks like he's going to kick it this way toward the sideline. And, you know, with Peabody's defense playing the way they are, we're going to have to be careful and not make a mistake on these kickoffs.
Coach Gaddis is fixing to give some personal instruction to Drew, and we'll see what Drew does with the football here. I believe he's going to kick it deep, probably on Peabody's side, as they have put their best receiver over here on this side. Let's see what Drew does right here. And that's exactly what he does. He kicks it back here deep. Ball's down to about the 10 or 11 yard line. And there's the man coming wide, and there's several members of the Golden Tide defense ready to strip him. And they get him down right there short of the 20, as Westwood's going to have it 1st and 10 from about the 17-yard line. And so good strategy right there, Joey, by Coach Gaddis.
Just kind of mixed it up. And that's what Coach Joe Gaddis has done all year. He has changed. He's been willing to adapt to the situation. I think that's what good coaches do. They're not predictable, and certainly that was not predictable on that play. But good coverage. Our guys stayed in their lanes pretty well. Was able to contain the back and brought him down. Really good field position for us, not for them.
We appreciate our sponsors tonight. Raspberry Tire sponsoring our first quarter. They're located on the bypass there around Trenton, and they can help you with all your tire and car service needs. Be sure and call Raspberry. 1st and 10 for Westwood, and a little toss sweep going out to the wide side, and Peabody's there to meet them and going to hold them to a gain of about 3 on the play.
Well, nothing fancy there. It looks like that Westwood maybe has been effective this year, just throwing that sweep out there to the side and outrunning people, but they're not able to do that with Peabody. We're going to have to watch deep here. We've already seen number 10 get deep on us.
2nd down and 7. Quarterback standing tall. He steps up into the pocket, and he throws the ball right over the middle to number 10, and that's a pretty good throw and catch right in front of Logan Morris.
Well, they've been doing that all year.
Brandon Harrison on the reception.
Harrison averaging over 27 yards a catch, and we see that on that play.
1st and 10 for Westwood. Ball handed off, and Peabody's ready to hit him right there for a minimal gain. We are appreciative of our other sponsors who are helping us broadcast during the playoffs. State Farm, LA Realty, Whitby Clinic, and Raspberry Tire. Raspberry is sponsoring our first quarter tonight, and we appreciate their support. Be sure and stop in and tell these patrons that these folks that you appreciate their patronage for the Golden Tide here on TV 22. 2nd and long. The quarterback throws it out here to Harrison, his favorite receiver. They're going to have a pickup of about 7 on the play, and that should bring up a 3rd down and about 3.
Well, Tyler Gadden is going to have his work cut out for him covering Harrison tonight, number 10 for Westwood. He is a danger. Gilkey has the arm to reach him anywhere on the field. We are clogging up the middle, forcing him to go outside and throw the ball.
3rd and 3 Westwood. Quarterback back to pass is Gilkey. Pressure is being put on him, forcing him out of the pocket. He's kind of shaking and baking. And I believe Aaron Lowry got blocked in the back right there by number 10, Brandon Harrison, and the flag came out.
Well, that's exactly what happens. It's going to be a big play for us. Good break for us. Lowry turned just enough to get the call.
And so Aaron Lowry was blocked in the back and right in front of the referee, and they call it. And so that's going to be a 10-yard penalty against Westwood, and that'll be a repeat of 3rd down.
One of the vulnerabilities this year has been the pass defense for Peabody. We've talked about it all year. We've been beaten many times. This is going to be maybe the biggest challenge of the year for this defensive backfield of Peabody.
3rd and 12 for Westwood. Little middle screen thrown over here. He's breaking loose, and number 2, Tyler Gatlin, pushes him out of bounds, and he's going to be awfully close to a 1st down. Let's see where they mark it.
Well, Nakia Cathy, number 2 there for Westwood. When you look at the stat sheet for Westwood, you see his name everywhere, offensively and defensively. He may be the best player on the Westwood team.
And that is enough for a 1st down for Westwood, and so they were able to convert 3rd down and 12 against the Golden Tide. 1st and 10.
Well, we see them getting on a roll with this passing game. The running game's not working for them.
Running wide is number 2, the man you just mentioned, Nakia Cathy. Hayden Whitby hit him first on the play, but there to clean him up, I think, was number 16, Ty Fields.
Well, Cathy is a junior, 5'8", 185, not a big kid, but very quick. He's one of those guys that you just want the ball in his hands. He can make a play. He can make people miss.
I believe, Joey, he's the young man that Coach Gaddis told me earlier in the week was one of the leading returners, if not the best returner in all of Memphis inner city schools football here in Memphis. So tough man, and we're going to have to keep an eye on him. And that's going to be offsides or illegal procedure against Westwood. 5-yard penalty against Westwood will make it 2nd down and 16.
Some big penalties already on this drive against Westwood. It's really been the friend of Peabody. It's been our best defense so far in this drive.
So it's 2nd and 16. Peabody's winning this contest 14-0, 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in the 1st quarter. Coming to you from historic Crump Stadium in downtown Memphis. Quarterback back to pass. He throws that ball loose, and he throws it right into the hands of our free safety, Daniel Hodges, and Hodges is on the loose, and he's going to have the ball back in Westwood's territory. And so a big turnover for the Golden Tide as Daniel Hodges, a sophomore, makes a great interception.
Really like the way Hodges protected that ball as he came close to being tackled. Just a great job as he just kind of drifts around back there and takes advantage of a bad pass. Really perhaps an overthrow. Not really sure there, but big break again for Peabody.
1st and 10 for the Golden Tide from the 39-yard line of the Longhorns. Barnett joins Bogus in the backfield. Barnett's hit in the backfield before really he ever gets the ball, but he's able to shake loose for a gain of about 1, and you had the idea that Westwood knew what was coming right there, Joey.
Well, anybody who has watched the last few games of Peabody on tape knows that Javari Barnett is the weapon. Bogus has run the ball many times in the last few games especially, but we're going to have to be diverts in our offense. Paul, that's something we've seen Bogus be able to do, and that's draw them off sides.
And so Westwood jumps off sides there. Perhaps from a hard count from Braxton Bogus, our quarterback, and that's going to be a 5-yard penalty, and that will make it 2nd down and 4. Spread formation for the Golden Tide, 2 receivers both sides, wide receiver in a slot, Barnett in the backfield. Barnett's handed the football, kind of cuts back against the grain, and there to make the tackle against him is number 50 for Westwood. And that young man we noticed before the game looked awfully impressive. He was one of their captains, Jeremy Glass. And so Glass stops Barnett for no gain on the play, or actually a loss of about 1. 3rd down and 4. Coming wide is Tay Nesbitt, and Tay struggles his way forward for a 1st down. And so Tay wouldn't be denied right there as he was stopped short. He kind of spun out of it and was able to get across the 30-yard line down to about the 27, where it's 1st and 10 for the Golden Tide.
Well, that was all Tay Nesbitt. They were in the backfield. They were all around, and he pushed 2 or 3 Westwood players and got that 1st down.
First and 10 from the 27-yard line. Peabody's winning this contest 14-0 with 3 minutes and 36 seconds to go here in the 1st period. Barnett swaps sides of the formation. He's going to be handed the football, and he's going to be going wide, and he's going to flank him. He's going to get outside of him, and he's going to be all the way down to about the 9-yard line, 8-yard line, and pushed out of bounds, where it's going to be another 1st down, another State Farm 1st down for the Golden Tide.
Well, the Westwood linebackers just kind of walking up in the line, a half-hearted stunt on their part, just took them completely out of the play and had no pursuit in that play. You're going to need the linebackers' pursuit to try to corral Tavari Barnett.
We appreciate State Farm being one of our sponsors tonight for our 1st downs and touchdowns. We failed to mention them on Peabody's first 2 scores. They happened so quickly. And there's Bogus on the carry, and he's going to have the ball down to about the 3-yard line.
Oh.
And there's going to be a flag against a member from Westwood as he took a swing against number 10, Najuan Miller. And he and Najuan were kind of locked up, and he ended the play by swinging at him, and I think he got caught.
Well, trying to see the number there. Is that number 3?
Number 3, Joseph Harris.
5'6", 125. My suggestion to him is leave him alone. He's a lot bigger than you.
Yeah, Najuan's got about 7 inches on him.
Eat your taters and then mess with him next year.
And so it'll be interesting to see if he was ejected from the game, because he certainly took a swing at him.
You know, that has a psychological effect on a team when you have a player sit to the sideline.
He's unbuckling his uniform and sitting down on the bench. And so I believe that he was ejected from the game as he took a swing right there at the end of the contest. At the end of that play, excuse me.
Going to take Najuan out of the game, too. Coach congratulates him for not getting involved in that swinging match.
And Westwood's going to call a timeout right here. And so we'll take timeout with them with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in this 1st period. We'll try to sort through this and see if a Peabody player was ejected in that little altercation. We certainly hope not. You're watching Golden Tide football here on TV 22, Trenton's local cable channel.
Whitby Family Clinic offers the very best in primary care, specializing in pediatrics, women's health and weight loss, workman's comp, Medicare, and geriatrics. Come experience the affectionate and caring medical service at its best, in a warm, home-like cozy environment with highly trained nurse practitioners, nurses, and support staff. It has been our pleasure to serve patients in the Trenton area for the past 20 years. At Whitby Family Clinic, we know it is important that you have a medical provider you can talk to and trust. We are devoted to quality care for patients of all ages. Whitby Family Clinic, caring for a living.
So we're back after the timeout. As we've been told to score here, West Carroll's leading Halls 7-3. at the end of the first quarter. I formation for the Golden Tide, and the ball's handed off to Tavarian Barnett, and he's going to carry it in for a touchdown for the Golden Tide.
Well, we've seen already in this game, even in this first quarter, that the penalties have been crucial in the playbook of Westwood. They have really given Peabody incredible yardage and advantage and momentum as they have committed some serious penalties, serious yards. But the third score of this quarter up on the board now.
20-0 for Peabody. On to kick is Drew Sanders holding his Bogus. Long snapping is Daniel Hodges. The kick is up and the kick is good, and Peabody goes out to a 21-0 lead here with 3 minutes and 4 seconds to play in the first period. The Golden Tide is rolling tonight. Crump Stadium in Memphis. You're watching Golden Tide football here on TV 22, Trenton's local cable channel.
Right now, 1 in 3 drivers is cruising around in a state of skepticism about just how much value their car insurance company is delivering. If you're one of them, State Farm agent Amy Greer in Trenton can help you get to a better state, because she'll talk with you, listen to you, and help put together a policy that has you written all over it, from cost to coverage, all backed by 24/7 customer support. Feeling less skeptical? Then call State Farm agent Amy Greer in Trenton and officially get to a better state with State Farm.
Kind of a surprise here, Paul. I think even best case scenario, we would not have expected to be up 3 touchdowns still in the first quarter. But as we've talked about, this is a dangerous team, Westwood. They have some talented receivers. Their quarterback can throw the ball, maybe a little inaccurate, but they can score in a hurry.
Sanders set to kick off for the Golden Tide, and he's going to kick it down the far side of Peabody, and back there to receive the kick is a young man that was popped right there by Drew Sanders. Drew has shown an ability to come up and make a stick as he did last week, and he does the same thing right there. Sorry, we can't tell you what number he hit. It may be number 10, Harrison, and I believe it is. Harrison was going down the far sideline, and he had to put it in reverse in a hurry as Drew Sanders had his number.
You know, Paul, you can see some kids who are just hitters. I mean, it's just in them. You can't teach it. That's just their personality. I'm not sure that Drew Sanders is not a headhunter.
He may very well be. He's got it in his blood. 1st and 10 for Westwood from the 50-yard line. Toss sweep coming to the far side of the field. And there to trip him up is number 1, Logan Morris, who gets him on the ground after about a 3-yard gain.
Runner just seems to be running tentatively as he comes on this outside. Not running with a lot of conviction. Short pickup there. But you know, their game, especially being down 21-0, is going to be the pass. So we might as well get ready for it. Do a good job of coverage.
2 men in the backfield. Going to throw the little hitch screen out to the wide side, and he's going to break free. That's number 2, and he's going to go all the way in for a touchdown. And Joey, it's just like you said, they've got too many weapons all over the field, and 21 points is nothing to this bunch. Touchdown for Westwood Longhorns.
Now, there's going to be a lot of points scored on this field tonight. 21 is not going to touch what this is going to be about. And number 2, we've talked about it, Nakia Cathy, a junior, one of the most talented players on this field.
Westwood will be going for 2. That score came with 1 minute and 56 seconds to go here in the first period. Quarterback's back to pass, and he's going to throw the ball out there. And number 1, Logan Morris, does a good job. He gets there about the same time that the ball does, and the ball falls incomplete. And so Peabody's leading 21-6. 1:56 to play here at the end, near the end of the first period, as you're watching Golden Tide football on TV 22, Trenton's local cable channel.
Hello, this is Ed Norman, broker with LA Realty of Trenton. I want to thank all of you for making LA number one in our community. We aim to take good care of our customers to the best of our ability. We know that's how a successful real estate firm operates in a small town. Please remember us when you need help or just advice about your real estate. Thanks again.
Westwood set to kick off after they have scored their initial touchdown here against Peabody. Peabody's leading 21-6. Westwood's kicking off to the Golden Tide. Back deep for the Tide is number 22, Tavarin Barnett. And so let's see where they kick the football. Short kickoff down the middle of the field. We better get on it. And we finally do get on it right there as Xavier Ball, number 23, came up and got on the ball. It looked like we had a couple of kids there that didn't know what to do.
Totally unprepared for that. Totally. You got to call a fair catch on that ball, catch it. Nobody warned it. And almost turned it over and could have turned this game around.
Peabody's fortunate to have the football right here as they looked unsure of themselves receiving that kickoff. Nonetheless, Peabody's got it 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. Spread formation, Barnett in the backfield with Bogus. Ball's given off to Barnett. He's going to have a gain of about 5 on the play.
Well, you know, I know up 21 points, you kind of are tempted to get a little conservative. I hope we don't see that. Listen, we're gonna see points scored all over the place, I think.
Najwan Miller was locked up out here with Nakia Cathy and finally able to get them separated. One player from Westwood's already been ejected in this game. Number 3, Joseph Harris, had to go to the locker room as he took a swing at Najwan in the last series. And that time, Barnett was stopped for a minimal gain.
Well, we're just going to have to be more creative than what we're doing here. You know, we have weapons all over the place, and we need to use them here.
3rd and 5 for the Golden Tide. Bogus looks to the sideline, gets the play. Looks like he's going to change it right here. Hands the ball off to Barnett going around the corner. Westwood had it defended, but they just couldn't make a tackle right there, and so Barnett's going to make enough for the first down for the Golden Tide, and that's another State Farm touchdown. First down for the Golden Tide.
Paul, I don't think we've thrown the ball yet, have we?
I don't remember a pass, but I believe we're going to have to throw the ball before this game is over. 1st and 10, Peabody. They stay in the true spread. No tight end in the game at this point.
Now, having said that, there are 4 defensive backs for Westwood who have 3 to 4 interceptions, so we're going to have to be careful.
Barnett came in motion and got the ball, and he's going to have another first down as he's down to about the 38-yard line.
Paul, did you notice how Tavarin's holding that ball way out to the side like a loaf of bread? Sure hope somebody doesn't get a hand or a hat on it, knock it out there.
And so Barnett, I think, that time moved out to the slot formation. He came in motion and got the ball kind of on the jet sweep coming wide. 21 seconds to go here in the first period. Now under 20 seconds. And I bet we're going to let the quarter expire, and I believe we're going to, as we're under 10 seconds, and the Golden Tide are walking toward their sideline. And so after one, Peabody's winning this contest 21-6. They have the ball, moving it against this Westwood Longhorn team. You're watching Golden Tide football here in the second round of the playoffs from Crump Stadium in Memphis, Tennessee. We'll be right back after this short word from our sponsors.